Well, they're trying again, but will they succeed this time, or is the reunion of the Janta Parivaar a non-starter? In a move aimed at consolidating opposition forces, 6 constituents of the erstwhile Janta Parivaar will soon become one party. Lalu, Nitish, Devegowda and Mulayam Singh Yadav held a meeting today in Delhi, after which it was decided that Mulayam Singh Yadav would work out the modalities for a merger to form one party. Calling themselves the Samajwadi Janta Dal, they will have their first major joint action on the 22nd of this month against the government on the black money issue. Nitish Kumar told the press that all of them felt there should be one party as they have the same philosophy and principles. The question, though, is whether this time the Janta Parivaar experiment will succeed and whether it is effective enough to take on the BJP. Well, we've got Manoj Jha of the RJD joining us tonight, Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party, and Mr. Kumar Ketkar joins us this evening from Mumbai. The other panelists coming in shortly, but Mr. Ketkar, let me start by asking you first. Do you believe that this time it's different with these forces coming together, or like in the past, there are just too many contradictions and it's not going to take off?
Well, actually, the comparison with the past is not quite correct, because in the past, Congress did have a lot of political space occupied. Even when Congress was defeated in 1989 and had 197 seats, it had 197 seats. Even in 1977, when Janata Party defeated Congress, Congress had something like 153 seats. So this time Congress has only 44 seats. So a lot of space has been left open, completely vacant by the Congress, and therefore this comparison cannot be made with the past. However, the earlier collapse of all Janata experiments was primarily because of far too many ambitious leaders in the parties, and more than ideology, the leadership and their ambition mattered in the past. And I think the same leaders are there and the same ambitions are there, and therefore perhaps if they do not succeed, it will be only because of the ambitions and the complete non-ideological approach. However, there is only one ideology they have, and in which they will have a common ground with Congress, is to oppose Narendra Modi-led BJP. And therefore, it has slightly more chances of success than before, but that does not mean that their DNA, that DNA which is essentially a socialist DNA, coming from Jayaprakash Narayan, VP Singh and Devegowdas and all so on and so forth, I don't think they have been able to change the DNA just by coming together and fighting under one banner.
All right, interesting thoughts there from Kumar Ketkar. Manoj Jha, I'll take that to you. Mr. Ketkar believes that, this alliance is primarily then coming together to take on Mr. Modi and the BJP. Is that what it is? Firstly, would you concede to that this is about the fact that Mr. Modi has this immense power in the BJP right now, and the BJP is doing exceedingly well, not just at the centre in the Lok Sabha elections, but state by state it is chipping away and making space for itself. And is that what has brought all of you together today?
Nidhi, I must tell you that, and not because I'm a spokesperson of RJD, I must tell you it is not about an individual or a political party. We are actually dismayed. We waited for 6 months, must tell you, Nidhi, but the fact is that we were disturbed on account of certain reasons. We have seen that there is a massive cut in the social sector funds. All of you must be aware, although media did not show that what kind of massive cuts were in social sector fund. Secondly, we also see a very strong anti-authoritarian neoliberal political posturing, not only by BJP, but also supported by a section of the media. Now, for us, a collective epitaph was written by again a section of the media. We had two options, either to accept that collective epitaph and be constricted in our own past histories of differences, or to overcome and create a space whereby progressive politics in India does not get a unsung farewell. Or this is one reason that we decided to come together. We know we have differences, we know there are issues, but we cannot simply wait and sit and see that what is happening. What is happening.
I think what you say candidly there is that you have differences and it's not obviously going to be easy, but Gaurav Bhatia, what will make it different this time? The question that Mr. Ketkar raised is that in the past, this experiment hasn't worked because each leader has his own ambition, and those ambitions are still there. Why would this succeed now?
I will tell you why it would succeed. But before I answer that question, I would like to say this, that what is the basic fundamental that keeps all the parties together? The ideology of socialism, the ideology of secularism that all the parties believe in, I think is the umbilical cord. And together we want to oppose the communal politics of BJP. It is not against one person. It is not anti-Modi. It is against the idea of communal politics which the BJP government is doing. Now, what would keep us together and what is different? This is not an alliance which is coming due to a compulsion of an election. This is more on the lines of merging the identity of all individual parties and coming together as one party. What it would do is that from state politics, where we are very strong, be it UP, be it Bihar or Haryana, now we would also have a national platform to tell the people of the nation that there is a strong alternate to the communal politics of BJP. And the best thing I would say is that tall leaders like Nitish Kumar ji, like Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, Devegowda ji, Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, and together if they synergize and they use their force effectively, I think any person would at least agree that it would be a very formidable opponent. And we all know that the BJP does not want a strong opposition. They like the opposition to be weak, and that is why all the parties with the same ideology
I'm going to question
together.
the individual parties on their own bench strength and their own vote share currently in the respective states. But Siddharth Singh of the BJP, who joins us tonight, Siddharth, would it be premature of the BJP and the Congress as well to laugh away at the formation of this Parivar again, or you know, would that be jumping the gun?
Well, I don't think you can say jumping the gun. Always the past does speak about the future and the present. The past of the Samajwadi, Parivar coming together has certainly not given results which they may have been, they are speaking now, but the past has never not been of a great experience, I would say, political experience. Now, certainly over the period we have seen, before the 2009 election, before the 2014 election, including the presidential elections, President of India's election, we have seen that at the end of the day, it's kind of a mirage, which is not a reality. And politically also, Nidhi, if you look, I don't want to wish them away, in the sense politically wish them away. They may rise, they should do well. Every political party, whether it's a regional or a national, should be important, and it helps to strengthen democracy. But at the same time, let's not forget, what are we seeing then? In 2014, the Samajwadi Party gets reduced to only those family members who have fought, and that is 5 numbers. The JDU, which is in government there, gets reduced to 2 numbers. They are unable to understand a very simple political narrative which India has decided. It is not BJP or Mr. Modi who has decided. We are just following it. They are unable to understand a political narrative which is, this is no more India of communalism versus secularism, kind of a propaganda. It is basically a narrative of development, good governance. You are unable to do it in your states, whether it is, be it in Uttar Pradesh, be it in Bihar. Well,
so you don't think it would be different if they got together? You don't think it would be different if the forces came together?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Whatever they can at best take away whatever is left of Congress.
Let me, Gaurav, I'll just give you a chance to respond. But to Abhishek Singhvi, an important point I think that Gaurav Bhatia raised was how the opposition is, in a sense, both Manoj Jha and he raised, is that the opposition in a sense is trying to get together and create a space for itself. That when you have a government with the kind of majority that it does, they want the opposition's voice to be heard. Does the Congress understand that in principle, or are you also skeptical of this experiment?
I think there's a bit of a conceptual confusion out there, Nidhi. There is certainly a justified degree of skepticism and indeed causticism and sarcasm about the coming together of the so-called non-Congress, non-BJP or indeed the left third front combinations, because the track record has shown a disillusionment, a disarray, a divisive approach, somewhat opportunistic, all that the history tells us. And I think therefore the credibility problem is there. But therefore while that skepticism may be justified, the point being missed is that there is a whole area out there for issue-based opposition, non-BJP, non-party in power coordination. It is certainly possible that all of us cannot marry or many cannot marry, but it is certainly not impossible to be friends without marriage. And I think that space is being confused. I think the BJP is being too ahankari, too arrogant to ignore that. And let me tell you that the issue of this Sadhvi Jyoti or indeed of Giriraj Singh or similar issues is not the issue about them. These are very small people. The issue is a matter of principle far larger. And if all the non-BJP opposition can come together on an issue like this, I think that sends a very clear message that enough is enough. It's not even about these very cliched misuse of phrases, secularism and communalism. Unfortunately, they've been debased and devalued. But that does not detract from the concept. When you have central ministers or with very senior persons, including MPs, and there are about 12 instances since May onwards, from the Singhals to the Bhagwats to, and I can recite to 12 incidents. When you have that kind of thing happening with monotonous regularity and accompanied by eloquent silence of the Prime Minister, then I think this kind of a non-BJP coordination on an issue-based thing
what you're saying then is interesting.
Has its own resonance.
What you're saying is that while you're skeptical about the formalization of a non-Congress, non-BJP front, you think what is workable is for the opposition to come together issue by issue, and you think that that can be done in the way that they've done in Parliament, yes, for instance, today. That is what you're saying. Kumar Ketkar, do you agree?
And there are many more issues out there which are happening every day, but because of the disarray or the lack of coordination amongst many sections of the opposition, those issues are going a begging.